Hi everyone, this is Shantae, aka Shantizi on Twitter and Instagram, or just simply Shantae. So for the last 3 nights, I have been using my backup computer, and I know it's probably moving a little slow and having some buffering issues because this computer is not really as dated as my actual computer, which I will be getting my charger tomorrow, and praise to the Lord that I will be using a different computer so I can do most of my work, like my schoolwork and other things like this, faster than I normally do. So it's supposed to be coming, as Amazon said. It better fucking come, because I'm going to have a big issue. But anyway, I'm Shantae, aka Shantizi on Twitter and Instagram, or just simply Shantae. So I'm here with, my daily spiel, which is my analysis. If you like the content, you can like this video, or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Shantae Berry. Simply just Shantae Berry. Not simply Shantae Berry, but just Shantae Berry. So, as of September 11th, I just want to take this time and, honor 9/11 for those who live in America, those around the world that are watching. It happened 19 years ago today. I was in 10th grade when that happened. Telling my age now. And I remember in 10th grade, in third market period class, I grew up in New York City. For those who don't know, I have a New York accent, and I learned that the towers were hit. We call it Twin Towers here. We don't call it the World Trade Center Towers. We call it the Twin Towers here. Those who are native born or have been living in New York for quite some time. And I was in those buildings 3 months prior to that happening. So when that happened, I didn't believe it at first. And then I saw cops there because we normally went out to lunch, and then we went home because the trains were shut down. And it took me and my sister and my friend longer to get home than normal. So when we got home, the news coverage was on for most of the day because it was an attack on our soil, on the mainland. And we haven't had like a crazy attack since, at that time, since Pearl Harbor. And that's like, 50 years from then now? So from then, or like 60 years then. So, yeah. But I just want to take the time to honor 9/11 and to honor the folks that, have lost their lives, or those who are still dealing with the loss of loved ones from 9/11. I do feel your pain. We're in this together, and hopefully by next year we can all rejoice and have a proper ceremony, because it will be the 20th year next year. Can't believe it will be 20 years since that happened. And those buildings were beautiful. Not saying the Freedom Tower was beautiful, but I love that building. It's beautiful in its own right. So I'm going to start off with the numbers of COVID. So, because COVID is still a big issue within our country. It is still a major thing in our country. So here we are with these numbers. Globally, we are at 28,313,733. Our death toll is at, on the global frontier, is at 912,936. So once again, the global death toll of COVID-19 is at 28,313,733, with the death toll at 912,936. In the U.S., we account for a fifth of those cases, so we are at 6,442,557 cases. The death toll here in this country is 192,936, and this is all on the Johns Hopkins website. I normally will get into the world numbers, but India has 4.5. We know Brazil has 4.2, and Russia has over 1 million cases. They're almost at 1.1. So they have that. I know in the Dominican Republic, I have over 102,000 cases. Panama has over 100,000 cases. Guatemala has over 81,000 cases. And, in the West Indies, the cases are starting to trail up because I guess they reopen in their country. So that's what's happening. Now here at home, according to the Johns Hopkins website, we have California, which is the highest number at 756,344, followed by Texas, 683,220. We have Florida at 658,220. We have New York, which was once the epicenter of this thing, is now at 447,498. Georgia, 274,242. We have Illinois at 260,926. Arizona at 207,525. New Jersey at 197,677, North Carolina 182,934, and Tennessee rounds up that top 10, 167,263. It's September. And these numbers are going to go up. According to Dr. Fauci, he's saying to us, and that's the only person I think I trust throughout this whole COVID situation, we have to bunker down. Flu and cold season is happening. I urge people, if you believe in vaccinations, you get, the vaccine for your flu, or if you don't like vaccines per se, you can stock up on as much cold medicine and Thermoflu, but the main thing is to wear your mask, wash your hands, and keep your damn distance from everybody. If you're one of those germaphobes that want to bring your Lysol spray, go ahead. Your mini one. You can also have alcohol put in a little spray bottle. You can buy a little empty spray bottle for 99 cents and just pour some alcohol on there, your little solution, whatever solution you want to put in there, and just spray the seats. When you go somewhere, if you're going somewhere publicly, if you don't feel comfortable. It's important that we have to protect ourselves, because the only thing that's fighting this disease is us. That's the only thing that's fighting COVID-19, not what Donald Trump says out of his mouth. Because unfortunately, we cannot listen to the occupant of the White House that's living at 1600 Black Lives Matter Avenue, right? We can't listen to that shit. We have to listen to a national corresponding response. And unfortunately, it's Dr. Fauci at this point of time. Indoor restaurants, when you are the hotspot, like where I live at in New York City, not good. 25% I understand, but I just feel like some people don't listen, and some restaurants want that extra money, so they want more people. And they don't realize we're about to enter a second wave of this. And these Republicans seem like they don't understand, especially the elected officials. Because Mitch McConnell, according to the New York Daily News, they reported that he wants 53 of the Senate Republicans to back this skim bill that is $500 billion instead of putting the HEROES Act on the floor. Yes, you're not going to agree with everything in the HEROES Act, but however, that act is actually better, will move the country forward than their plan, their relief plan. Because there's nothing substantive in their relief plan. Their relief plan is to fund a freaking FBI building. Seriously? And a payroll tax cut that's going to affect people for years to come with Social Security and Medicaid? Are you kidding me? That's fucking with people's shit. And people that's paying into their Social Security. That's what the FICA is for. Right? If you do your homework. Payroll tax, your thing you're going to get, of course you got your federal and and then you got FICA. You got the Medicaid and the Social Security. That's FICA. So he's messing with FICA. I mean, dude, come on. Seriously. Yeah. Not good. Not good at all. So that's what this man is doing at this point in time. All right, speak to your dad. Speak to your dad, Elizabeth. I'm going to see my dad on Sunday. Oh, my dad's actually coming to see me. But, yeah. But that's what's going on. What's going on? And, of course, we all know that, this election is getting real serious this day. Biden versus Trump. So Joe Biden, you know, he went to ground zero. He was here in New York City. He was downtown around ground, well, they call it ground zero. Basically, he was down by Chambers Street, close to Fulton Street or Park Place. You get off the train, at Park Place. He was down at the site along with the governor of New York, along with the mayor, along with Senator Schumer, you know, because they're all New Yorkers, so they were there honoring, 9/11, and he was there. He talked with people. You know, Joe Biden does this for deal. He talked to people, which, that's something that you need in a leader. Yes, everybody's not going to agree on Joe Biden's policies, but if you go on his website and do your freaking research, you can see that his plans are very cohesive, and that will help build the country back better. And now that he has Kamala Harris, who is a progressive, as I stress, like 10,000 times, it's on that ticket, makes it more concrete and understand that their policies will be the most bold and progressive and will move this country forward. Because right now, we're backwards. We're all the way backwards. And half of these other countries are more forward thinking, which is FM. If those who never did like a training course, they're more FM and more forward thinking. We're like in the AM and back, because this resident has basically rolled back every regulation that his predecessor had, right? Excuse me. Yeah, I think it says predecessor, yeah, if I'm got the words right. So he's not succeeding the job well, obviously. And I said that from way before. So I honestly, to tell you the truth, the only way we can honestly get this ticket going is we vote and we advocate to tell our friends about the Biden and Harris ticket. I'm trying to get certain people to understand the Biden and Harris ticket. Some people are reluctant to change, and I understand that. Even some that I consider, my best friends, listen, everybody's not going to be warm and receptive to everyone. But it's important that we encourage all of our people to vote, because this situation is getting worse. And I have a feeling by the end of this month into next month, it's going to get worse. And it's already been. Some cities are prepared for the worst, and some cities and states are not prepared for the worst. So this is what we're dealing with, folks. This is what the hell we're dealing with. But on another thing, and I want to end this. Tulsi, it's fucking trending again for some bullshit. So I'm just going to read the damn thing to you guys. I'm going to read it. At Netflix, child porn cuties will certainly whet the appetite of pedophiles and help fuel the child sex trafficking trade. 1 in 4 victims of trafficking are children. It happened to my friend's 13-year-old daughter. Netflix, you are now complicit. # cancel Netflix. So I look up the information of Cuties. It's an independent film. The Cuties is actually the English version of the French film. It starts with an M. I don't know what it's exactly called. And traditionally, it's about a French Senegalese girl who's stuck between her traditional Muslim ways or, the internet. Every young person goes through their issues and goes through this thing, but it doesn't mean that it's child porn. So what the hell is Tulsi talking about? I understand she really needs a job and needs attention, but shit. All of a sudden she's a she's a human trafficking advocate. Like, you are not for the liberal and progressive platform. And this is where I laugh at progressives, because they actually still have her back, some of them. And I'm just like looking at them like, no. She's not progressive. She's more on a conservative platform than a progressive. The person that you came after as a progressive was the one who is now the vice presidential nominee. You applauded Tulsi for trying to slander Kamala, but at the end of the day, it's like Tulsi didn't gain anything from trying to discredit Kamala. If anything, she lost. Since Kamala was not on that stage anymore, Tulsi was not even a factor. I mean, if you want to get real. Like, Tulsi is just a fraud. And now she has no job. So if Fox, if you out there, One American News, if you out there, Tulsi needs a job. So on that note, Tulsi, get a job. But until then, folks, this is a very short live. I'm very tired. You guys have a good night. I'll see you soon. See you tomorrow. Take care.